what we're doing here is we're going to have a look at the Technology Active Revision questions and how you go about answering some of these with CAS. Now, the idea is I'll go through each of these, 1, 2, 3, and so on. But I'm not going to go through all of them. So I'm not going to do all the ones here from question 1, all of them from question 2, 3, and so on. That's just going to take too long. We just want to get the basic gist of how we go through these things with CAS. So first thing we're going to do, use CAS to determine the y-intercept, turning point, and x-intercepts for the following. So we're looking at these things. So now 2 ways we can do this. We can either graph it and find these key points, but we can't find the y-intercept if we graph, or we can do it in the calculator page. We'll go in the calculator page, because if it asks for exact answers or exact values, this is where we do it. So my advice is define the function. So we'll call it f of x equals x squared plus 4x plus 2 x squared plus 4x plus 2, and then from there we're going to now determine the y-intercept. So I'll say f, and the y-intercept happens when x equals 0, happens at 2. The turning point, we know the turning point happens at, we complete the square. We won't do that just yet. X-intercept, so we'll say solve f of x equals 0 for x. So what we're doing is we're saying, where does the equation equal 0? Where does this equal 0? And we're looking for x values. So here we are. So this is our exact value. So this is what you would write down for the x-intercepts. For the turning point, we'll write complete square. Complete square f x for x. And it gives us this. So our turning point happens at -2 and -2. Because it's the opposite sign to whatever we've got here. So -2 and 2 is where our, -2 and -2 is where our turning point is. I'm going to do that by completing the square. If we can't complete the square, well then we find the distance between these 2 points here. Or we do negative b over 2a. So we do the negative b term over 2a. So we do, so that is -4. -4 divided by 2 times our a term, which is 1. And then we have -2. So that's the x-intercept. So that's the x-coordinate, -2. So we say f of -2, and it gives us -2. That's a y value. Okay, let's have a look at all that again with another question. Let's have a look at this one. -3x squared minus 5x plus 2. So we'll define the function. Define g of x. It doesn't matter what we use, as long as we've got an x there. -3x squared minus 5x plus 2. That's defined. So now we say g of 0. So this is our x-intercept. Sorry. This is our y-intercept where x equals 0. It happens at 2, just 2 here. We want to find our x-intercepts. So solve g of x equals 0 for x. That happens at either -2 or a third. And then we want to find the turning point. Let's see if this will work. Complete square. G of x, comma x. And we have our turning point at -5/6 and 49/12. That's our turning point. We can do our, once again, our negative b over 2a. So in this case we'll have -5 divided by 2 times -3. And let's see that. So -5/6, which matches up to what we've got here. And then say g of -5/6, 49/12. So that's how we go about finding the turning points. So recap. Define your functions. Always define your functions. Much easier to work with then, because then if we have to graph or we have to do anything with them, we can go like that. So we define the function. Once we've got that, we let x equal 0. So we say f of the function of 0 gives us an answer. That's our y-intercept. We want to find x-intercepts. Let the function equal 0 for x, gives us x values. And then to find the turning point coordinates, complete square, f of x. And we've got a negative version of this and this number here, and that gives us our turning point. if it can't factorise, if we can't complete the square, that does happen sometimes, negative b over 2a. So negative b, so whatever our b term is, whatever our coefficient of x is, so here it's negative 5. We have negative 5 over 2 times negative 3. So that's our a coefficient, coefficient of x squared. 2 times negative 3, 506, and then that matches up. And then whatever we get here, we substitute that into the function. So that's why we go about finding let's have a look at the document, the y-intercept, turning point, and x-intercepts for any parabola.